Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Omega Bear. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate your kindness and your patience. Thank you. So this is for Tender Mercies, which, to be honest, I had never heard of the film before. But it's a film that didn't do that well, but got some good critical attention. And it's a film that Robert Duvall won the Oscar for. Robert Duvall, who is still alive as I'm doing this review, because I did a review, I think it was Geronimo, and for some reason I assumed Robert Duvall had passed away, because Gene Hackman, who's in the film, had passed away, and then people were like, Robert Duvall's still alive. I'm like, oops, shit. He's in his 90s, but he's still alive, so there you go. Sorry about that, Mr. Duvall. But I always liked him as an actor. Even in films like Days of Thunder, I always liked him. I thought he was always a very capable actor. And he's definitely the best part of this film. Came out in 1983, the same year I was born. And he won an Oscar for this, like I said. And he did a really good job. He plays this alcoholic, I would say country singer, but he was more of a writer. He wrote songs for this lady who is now his ex-wife. And he likes to play the guitar, and his character's name is Mac. So as the movie starts, he's at this motel room. A buddy of his leaves. He doesn't have the money to pay for it, so he's like, let me work it off. And the lady who owns the motel is like, that's fine. The lady who runs the motel, Tess Harper, she's a widow. She has a son named Sonny. And you see a bit of them bonding together. I will say this is a film that is very understated. It's very understated. It's very restrained. It's not pretentious at all. Sometimes I felt a bit too restrained, but it has this kind of low-key melancholy to it that there's some heavy things that happen, but I never really felt the heavy drama. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes the sense of time was a bit confusing because, like, Robert Duvall and this lady kind of bond, and he works on her place, and then next thing you know, they're married. I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? Because it felt like they were just there. He was there for a week. Then all of a sudden, they're. It's not even them getting married, or it's just all of a sudden they're married now. I'm like, how long has it been? A month, a year? So I thought that could have been handled a bit better. But Robert Duvall's character, he treats Tess Harper very well. He treats the kid very well, teaching the kid about the guitar and how it works. And yeah, it seems to be doing well. Very calm, very soothing. Paul Gleason, who is the principal in the Breakfast Club, he's in this as a reporter, asking him about, where you read any new songs, anything of that nature. And a few things happen. He wrote some stuff. He goes to see his ex-wife. She wants nothing to do with him. Her manager's Wilford Brimley. He's been a lot of stuff. Hard Target, John Carpenter's The Thing, Cocoon. And he said, well, I read your stuff. I don't think it's any good either. Just like she says, just leave her alone. There's this band that wants to start their journey into the music industry, and they ask Duvall for advice, and at first he's not really keen on giving any advice. I guess I was just surprised because I'm so used to how the movies like showing a bit more ebbs and flows of drama. if that made sense. Because, okay, maybe there's going to be some drama point where he's an alcoholic, but he's got to have a tough time to stop drinking. No, he just stopped drinking pretty quickly, or pretty easily, it seemed. Oh, there's going to be some tension between him and his new wife about the ex-wife. No. I mean, she questions him for a bit, and he answers. But then, there's not really any tension, nothing of the sort there. It's just going to be this excursion to try to be a popular singer, or to get back into the spotlight. No, he's pretty content on where he's at. That's where it's like, it's kind of throwing me off, because I'm kind of sitting there going, what is the story of this film? Because things seem almost a bit too melancholy or something. Spoilers, ultimately his daughter sees him, played by Ellen Barkin, who's in The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai among others. They talked for a bit. Eventually, after some scenes there and there, she leaves. Later on, she comes back. I guess now she's married with the guy, and she talks with Robert Duvall's new wife, and they share some dialogue back and forth. Until ultimately, heavy spoilers, you find out that Ellen Barkin's character died in a car accident. And even then, his reaction is kind of low key as well. He doesn't break down, doesn't get angry. There's no, he might get the bottle again and drink. There's none of that. And while I do like the film, because I like the calmness of it, I like Robert Duvall's performance, I'm like, this seems, I don't know, just came off as weird, like lacking the stuff you would think would be there. Now maybe you just say, well, that would make it more typical, that would make it more predictable. You say, well, maybe that's trying to be more like a movie, and this is trying to be more realistic or natural. I don't know. I guess I could maybe see that. But this is very, very understated. I mean, eventually he goes to the funeral, hugs the ex-wife. Pretty much he goes home, talks with the kid Sonny, they throw the football. Before that, him and his new wife kind of share the sentiment about how, is it fair that, my daughter died and all this stuff. Decent little scene. But then he plays football with the kid, and that's that, pretty much. So, I say you didn't really see much of a struggle with Robert Duvall's character, much of the ebbs and flows, like a roller coaster. So it just kind of left me with kind of a weird feeling of, I mean, it's a short film, it's like 90-some minutes long. I just felt like something was lacking with this to really make it that grand of a drama, if that made sense. So I think that just threw me off a bit too much, and like it was easy, in a weird way, it was like easy to watch, and the calm demeanor of Robert Duvall's character made him likable. I mean, even you think there's going to be some tension, like maybe there's a little bit with Bully's strewn with this kid's Sonny at school, but then nothing really comes of that part of it. Just like I was saying before about, oh, is she okay, there's a little conversation, she's jealous of his ex-wife. There's going to be like a confrontation between the wife and the ex-wife, or about how the ex-wife is warning them about how dangerous he is, and he tried to kill me in the past when he was an alcoholic, and oh, well, he's changed. Like, no, none of that really comes up. There's not really a conversation between the wife and the ex-wife. There's a little bit between the daughter and the new wife, but it felt more of just her wondering where he's at and her answering, well, he's not here, and not a whole lot of depth to it. So, I don't know, it's a bit weird to me. That's all. But, I mean, the acting I didn't mind. It's cool to see Wilford Brimley in there. Paul Gleason, although it was a very tiny role. Robert Duvall definitely did a good job acting-wise. So, nice to see him in there. I would never see this film again, though. I know it seems to be a theme lately. I'll never see this film again, though. But, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it for what it was. But that's pretty much it. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.